Understanding Government Secrecy Laws and Enforcement in America. Explore how government secrecy laws protect classified info, affect transparency, and why these rules matter for all of us. Plus, a thriller recommendation. Behind Closed Doors: How Government Secrecy Laws Shape What We Know. Hey, have you ever wondered why some information that seems super important just never makes it to the public? I mean, we all hear about governments releasing documents after decades, or that some policies are whispered about but never confirmed. The whole idea of government secrecy laws and how they're enforced is honestly kind of a wild topic. Let's just chat about it. So the government has this whole system in place called government classified information. These are documents or details marked as top secret, secret, or confidential, and they're kept away from the general public for reasons often tied to national security, diplomacy, or military operations. The idea behind this is straightforward. If certain sensitive information were made public, it could hurt the country's interests or even endanger lives. Now that sounds reasonable on paper, right? But here's where it gets complicated. There's a whole infrastructure built around government information secrecy, laws, protocols, and enforcement mechanisms designed to protect these secrets. The trick, though, is that sometimes these rules get stretched or bent in ways that make it harder for citizens to know what their government is really doing. That's where questions of government transparency issues come up. Think about it. There are entire categories of documents and policies, sometimes called government secret policies, that never see the light of day. These can range from covert operations overseas to surveillance programs that affect everyday people. Enforcement of these secrecy laws often involves federal agencies tasked with making sure classified information doesn't leak. Think the NSA, CIA, or FBI. And if someone spills the beans, they can face serious consequences, including jail time. But isn't there a balance to strike? I mean, government confidentiality is important, but lots of people argue that excessive secrecy hurts democracy. It makes transparency an uphill battle, especially when whistleblowers try to expose wrongdoing and end up branded as criminals instead of heroes. That's why debates about how much secrecy is too much never really go away. If you're interested in stories that mix this kind of secrecy and intrigue with a thrilling narrative, there's this book titled Hush, a psychological thriller of alien manipulation and deep state deceit. It's a gripping tale that takes these government secrecy themes and spins them into a chilling plot involving alien influence and dark government conspiracies. Whether you prefer ebook, print, or audio, you can buy it now and get lost in a story that makes you question who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes. So to wrap this up, government document secrecy and the laws that enforce it present a paradox. On one hand, they're essential for protecting national interests. On the other, they can lead to a lack of accountability when transparency is sacrificed. It's a tricky balance that governments worldwide keep tweaking, and it definitely impacts how informed we are as citizens. Next time you hear about a classified leak or secret policy emerging, you'll have a better idea of the layers, legal, institutional, and ethical, that shape what gets shared with the public and what stays under wraps. It's a fascinating, complicated world that affects all of us, whether we pay attention or not. Thanks for listening. Hope this gave you some insight and maybe even a little entertainment along the way.